Ladies and gentlemen, dear compatriot, friends of Gabon, I am Dr. Pierre-Willy Lundu-Busugu, academic, spokesperson of the platform named le Centre de Concertation pour la Concorde. This platform is a member of another one, the biggest platform entitled le Rassemblement des Bâtisseurs. I come to you to pronounce some words on the political situation of our country. Indeed, at the end of the period of submitting candidacy files for the presidential election, set between February the 27th and March the 18th, 2025, in accordance with the letter of Article 2 of Decree number 01 of February 14, 2025, setting the deadline and procedures for submitting candidacy declarations for the election of the President of the Republic on April 12, 2025, the Minister of Interior and Security issued a press statement on March 9, 2025, to make public the list of candidates admitted to stand in our country's presidential election at the end of the process of examining files by the National Commission for the Organization and Coordination of Elections and Referendum, CINOCER. As we all know, out of a total of 34 initial candidates, then 23 who submitted a file to CINOCER, only 4 were declared compliant with the text governing the electoral process in our country. In alphabetical order, these are the names of the selected compatriots: Mr. Billy Binze Alain Claude, Mr. Singon Joseph Lapensée, Mr. Iloko Busengi Stéphane Germain, and Mr. Oligingema Brice Clotaire. This uncompromising and rigorous result confirmed the idea that the time for politics for the sake of politics on the banks of text is over. Indeed, after formally receiving the candidacy files, CINOCER examined their conformity with the provisions of the text in force, in particular the Transition Charter, the Constitution of December 19, 2024, and the Electoral Code, in the light of Article 777, 80, 81, 82, 88, 87, 89, 117, and 179. Dear compatriot, the Consultation Center for Concorde insists on the fact that all the provisions we have just set out in an impersonal manner, not only the terms and conditions for declaring candidacy, but also the grounds for rejecting candidacy files. For a politician to claim ignorance of this legal framework is a serious disqualifying error. Moreover, in order to act efficiently and objectively, CINOCER has also incorporated in its remit law 3562 of December 10, 1962, on association in the Gabonese Republic. It goes without saying, therefore, that all the texts implementing the aforementioned laws were taken into account in the decision-making process. However, a few hours after the announcement by the Ministry of the Interior and Security, an unusual outcry from candidates whose application had been rejected was heard in the media and especially on social networks, revealing a certain amateurism and ignorance on the text in force. Indeed, instead of allowing themselves to be guided by emotion or bitterness, the candidate concerned should, in accordance with Article 179 of the Electoral Code, have lodged an appeal to contest the decision announced by the Minister of the Interior and Security before the Constitutional Court within 72 hours of the publication of the list of selected candidates. The reason behind the rejection of the 19th candidate were brought to everyone's attention. These included the absence of a receipt certifying payment of 30 million CFA franc deposit, the absence of certain required documents, and the age limit. Without wishing to impugn their intentions, it should be noted that by filing incomplete applications, certain politicians were hoping to paralyze the application of the law for political reasons. Whereas the rules of law is also one in which all persons are subject, without distinction, to the laws in force. We must put an end to old world practices. The time has come to put an end to past paradigms in which politicians felt that texts were drawn up for others and not for themselves. In the new Gabon that is emerging, let's avoid turning politics into a playground for adults. Moreover, to continue to believe that the Gabonese people who had the happy experience of transition with the CTRI are still fooled is a chimera. The Consultation Center for Concord takes its hat off to the Ministry of Interior and Security for the colossal tasks it has accomplished and the transparency it has shown in rendering its decisions. This is an unprecedented act that must be noted. Indeed, since August 17, 1960, this is the first time that an electoral process has presented guarantees of transparency that should now be self-evident. The ministry's arduous task is not over, as it must now demonstrate that Gabon is definitely a constitutional state capable of organizing free, democratic, and transparent local and national elections. Along with the sovereign people, the Consultation Center for Concord warmly congratulates the President of the transition for having demonstrated that he is a man of his word, for having kept his word by organizing the election within the deadline set out in the Transition Charter, but also for having carried out the deeds for which he vouched, and thus meriting the revealing adjective of builder. The Consultation Center for Concord, a member of the Gathering of Builders platform, once again extend its warmest congratulations to the first of the builders. In a few days' time, the electoral campaign will begin, a crucial moment for our future, for our living together, which must not suffer any breach. And for this reason, the Center of Consultation for Concord wishes the candidate an excellent campaign in the strict respect of our values. Long life the Republic, long life Gabon. It's finally our rise to happiness. Thank you very much.